It looks like China is down for helping Russia with the Ukraine war. Where does that leave the United States and their supply chain? If you're worried about that, stop worrying and start stocking up right now. There is nothing you need to leave off the table that you need to have in your pantry for long-term storage. Let's talk about it. You need to be stockpiling, prepping, hoarding, whatever word makes you feel comfortable. You need to be stacking it to the rafters. Because when the supply chain is cut, what will you do? Are you growing your own food? Is it even enough food in your backyard for you to live off of for 6 months to a year? What's up, fam? Welcome back to Tommy Bites TV. How are my cousins doing today? I'm still feeling a little down, but I am here for you. We're going to talk about 11 grocery shortages that you can expect to see more of this 2023 year and possibly into 2024, because as we all know, it ain't over yet. So before we get straight into it, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you have not, share any of my videos out, comment down below, and let's jump right into it. So although we are not facing as many food shortages as we were in 2020, 2021, it kind of, got back to some better supply chain deliveries in 2022. We're starting to see things slowly pick back up in certain areas. Now, this doesn't affect everybody, and it never has affected everybody. Throughout the past 3 years, many people have said, my stores are full. And to those people, I always say, that is great. Go out, make sure you're stocking up for whatever emergency comes forward, because we all know emergencies do happen, whether they are weather related or man-made. Just like we dealt with the COVID-19 virus, I suspect that there will be another pandemic coming. And even if it's not, you're stocked up for weather related emergencies. And also, as we have seen from the news, anything could happen at any time, just like the train derailment that has happened, just like the power outages that continue to happen, whether on purpose or weather related. It is still happening. Those are still emergencies. People have still had to evacuate their homes. Do you have what you need in a time of crisis? Who will help you in that time of crisis? Well, I can pretty much tell you, you're gonna be on your own. Even if you get a little bit of help from the federal government, it's not gonna be enough to satisfy whatever damage was done. So I'm going to give you this list of 11, but I also have some extras on here, things that I've seen personally that isn't on the list that I know has been running short. Please get in the comments, and if in your area you're seeing certain shortages, make sure you put that in there. Put the area, you don't have to give your whole address or anything. Just put, a general location of what part of the United States you're in that you're seeing those shortages. And if you're not seeing them, let us know about that too, so we'll know where those places are. But just know, because you're in that area and you're not seeing the shortage, if something happened and in the neighboring counties or whatever around you are seeing shortages, or stores continue to close like they've been closing, more people are going to travel further to get the items that they need, which means they will be traveling to your area. That's why it's so important to stock up while you have those items in the store. This list is really in no particular order. I tried to put them of importance, different from how they have it on their list. So why is bread short or going to be short? Number one being bread. Ukraine is one of the world's top grain producers, and with the country's grain exports down 60%, we will likely feel the effects of this very, very soon. And you're probably already seeing it in certain areas. They may have limits, or they just may not have a huge inventory of bread there, or the bread that they do have has gone up in price. I've seen even in Aldi, their bread, 99 cents, go up in price. Number 2 on the list is canned foods. Canned foods is that go-to option that we all go to when we want to stock up our long-term prepper pantry. It's just easy to collect it and put it in there. They usually have 2 or 3 years best by date on it. We all know by now that the best by date is not the actual end date. You can actually take it a little bit longer and keep that food a little bit longer. Just do the special smell, taste, see test when you open it up before you feed it to your family. Canned goods were a shelf-stable option that provided food security during food shortages and or emergencies. However, there has been an aluminum shortage for a few years now, and shortages has slowed production down and raised prices not only on canned food, human food, but also your pet food. And that leads to number 4 on the list. I've skipped 3, but number 4 is dog food. Dog food, there is shortages of that because the ones that are in the cans, i.e., aluminum shortage, okay? So that's what we're dealing with the pet food, as well as some of the dried food, because number 3 on the list is corn. Corn is something that is down, whether it's our food or our pets' food. So that is why you're seeing a lot of shortages in certain foods as well. You will see those shortages on the shelf because we don't have aluminum and we don't have corn. Well, there is a low production of it. We're also suffering from the corn shortage because of the war in Ukraine as well. And it says Argentina, another larger corn exporter, has suffered a smaller yield this year. However, the U.S. does do a significant amount of growing of corn, so that's been able to hold us over. But customers in European Union typically rely on Ukraine and South American countries for their corn and will likely feel the shortage more harshly than the United States will. Cooking oil made the list because, one, that shortage of corn, canola oil. But Canada is the largest canola oil producer and had a very small crop last year. Soybean oil, commonly grown in South America, has also had small crops produced this past year due to the drought. Oranges also made that list of shortages, food shortages, because the production is down 51% due to Florida battling a tough hurricane year. And of course, beef made that list of grocery store shortages because beef prices are expected to rise due to the shrinking beef availability. With less availability, prices are expected to rise. The reason there is less availability, we had the ranchers who sold their cattle sooner than they were supposed to. So they sold them when they were younger. So that's less meat out there. And they barely made any money off of it. So the article also says that the availability issues may be partly due to the USDA forecasting the average American to eat 5.6% less beef this year, which would be the most significant loss since 1987. Due to the shortage, you might purchase different beef cuts at the store. I also want to add to that by saying they want us to purchase less beef, honestly. That is why so many more products are being made, no meat this, no meat that. They're pushing that no meat. There is things in work, rather, to control and herd us like cattle. No pun intended, but pun intended. They're hurting us to no meat by getting rid of that one ingredient. There's nothing wrong with it, meat. So baby formula definitely made the list. I have done multiple stories on baby formula shortages last year because of that huge recall that we had. And they flew all of that baby formula in, and yet and still parents were still searching panicking, looking for baby formula, the liquid baby formula. They had a lot of powder formula like the Good Starts and stuff, but they didn't have the liquid formula. It is saying that most stress-inducing food items on the list, of course, is that baby formula, that shortage that is expected to last well into this 2023 year. And we are, in February, about to hit March. If you don't know about the baby formula shortage, it was a massive shortage due to contamination and production plants closing in 2022. Another shortage may be coming due to high tariffs set to begin this year. Now that is something I didn't know. So I'm glad I saw that so that I can share that with you guys. Domestic production of the formula is still down, so this could be a problem for supply. So parents gotta look for different options. Not everybody can breastfeed. I know when I did those previous videos, a lot of people were saying, well, they could just breastfeed. Everybody can't breastfeed. Some people have illnesses. Some people are taking medication that they don't want their child to take. It's just a lot of variables in there. So baby formula shortage continues. And you know eggs are definitely on that list. You can't get around walking in the store without hearing someone's conversation about eggs, whether it is how much they're costing or there aren't any there, or I mean, just whatever. You're hearing about the eggs, and that gripe is not going anywhere anytime soon. Of course, in this article, they're saying it's blamed totally on the bird flu. That is totally not true. Some of it is bird flu and them culling over 58 million birds and still culling to this day. But some of that is the price of it and what the grocery stores are charging farmers or willing to pay the farmers for their eggs is not enough for the farmers to even make a living off of. So the cost of eggs aren't going down anytime soon. You may see a couple of dollars here and there, but it's not going to go back down to what it was. A dozen of eggs right now, you're probably going to pay about $4 or $5 for a dozen of eggs. Maybe $14 is the cheapest. I've seen 60 count eggs in Walmart. They have gone up all the way to $30 at one point. So you guys, and they have limits on those eggs. So if you can get some chickens, get them. If you know a farmer, get to know them better so that you can get some of those eggs and be willing to pay a little more, because there's a lot of work that goes into raising chickens and getting eggs from the egg layers. So champagne and beer has made the list. I've done lists like this numerous times, and each time beer and champagne make the list. This article is not giving the reason from the other ones, but I'm going to give it to you what I know for sure. Beer, though, however, what I didn't know, they're saying that beer, the supply chain issues dating back to the pre-pandemic times and rising inflation costs have experts projecting beer to be more expensive and less accessible in 2023. Now, I haven't found it less accessible unless they mean people just can't afford it, because I don't see that much shortage when it comes to beer or champagne in the store. But beer and champagne made this list, and it has to be because of the carbonated fizz that's in the drink. There is a shortage of that. I'm trying to think of it. Is it CO2 or something like that? There is a shortage. Like I said, I did a separate video explaining the shortage of those things. Now, things that's not on this list that I personally see when I go into the grocery stores where I'm showing you guys stuff is sugar, flour, chicken breast, and water. Okay, so with the sugar, I'm noticing either they're going to have it or they're not going to have it. But I do know that the cost of sugar has increased. So either expect to pay more or expect to not find it at all, especially if it's a holiday coming up, like Easter's coming up. You know, we had Christmas, we dealt with shortages then. You're going to deal with it with Easter. You're going to deal with it anytime there's a holiday. Same thing with the flour. They've even made those sections even smaller in the grocery stores as if they could. And then chicken breast, I've noticed in some places they have chicken breast with limits on it. Why chicken breast over anything else? Because, I mean, the chicken is a whole chicken, right? But you cut it into pieces. But yet there's a shortage of the breast, maybe. I don't know. But they have limits on chicken breast in, I know, the Aldi in South Carolina, a few of them. And then some other stores do have shortages on their chicken breast. So with the water, I'm just saying you need to stock up on water. I'm not saying there is a shortage of water. I'm saying you need to make sure you always have usable water in your home. Water that you can consume, and water that gray water you can use to wash clothes or whatever. those type of things. Because when that emergency hit and they say boil water advisory or don't drink the water, drink bottled, do whatever, you want to already have it because the stores will sell out really, really fast. So I hope this video was helpful for you. I hope it gave you some tips of things that you need to stock up on. Leave tips down below for other people. And you guys, I'll see you in the next. Y'all take care. I didn't want this to be a long video. I pray it's not a long video. So if it is, I apologize in advance. But if you could watch it all the way through, it would definitely help the channel. Or if you could watch the first 5 minutes of it, it would help the channel. And share it out with your family and your friends and social media, wherever you watch anything. Okay? Y'all take care.